Hey everyone, gwsmallwood, the shaving disciple here. I've got a kind of combo unboxing and shave video for you guys today, and it's kind of a special release, so stick around. So you guys saw me do the unboxing, but I haven't actually smell tested this yet. So this is a special offering from Shannon soap. This was made for the HeadShaver's Ball group on Facebook. So the admins of the Facebook group got together with Shannon and they came up with this at the Barber scent and special soap for the group, along with matching aftershave. So evidently this was based on a fragrance from, I think it's Maison Margiela. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I do that all the time. I do my best. So yeah, this is a fragrance that's based off of that. The scent notes bounced around a little bit from the descriptions I saw between Taylor and Shannon and what's on the ordering site now. So what's on the ordering site now is pink pepper, bitter orange, basil, rosemary, geranium, lavender, musk, tobacco, and oak moss. And Shannon did mention at one point that it was pretty heavy on the oak moss, which I'm looking forward to because that's one of my favorite scents to see in a soap. I usually enjoy oak moss. So let's go ahead and see what this smells like. So you kind of saw it on the video. This is the Chupacabra base. I'll flash the ingredients up here. But this, I think, used to be her goat's milk base. It's definitely tallow. It has quite a few butters. Glycerin, lanolin, goat's milk, yeah. So this is her formerly goat's milk, now Chupacabra formula. So let's see what it smells like. Oh, that's really nice. Definitely heavy on the oak moss. You get the barber shoppy feel from the geranium, the lavender, the musk. I don't really get much of the tobacco, which is probably a good thing for me. I'm hit or miss when it comes to tobacco scents. All in all, that's a really nice scent. Yeah, I really like that one. So I've had a few new soaps lately where the aftershave is just a little bit different. So we'll see when I open up the aftershave later if that smells any different. Maybe some of the other notes might come out. But the soap on its own, this is fantastic. I really like this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and get it lathered up, and we'll come back and do a shave with it and show you guys how it performs. All right, so I actually started with a cube today, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements cube. Now I didn't use it as a pre-shave. I washed my face and my head with it. Normally I shave in the morning, and I don't normally wash my face or my head before I shave. I just slap some water on, a little bit of pre-shave, and I go to town. But I was actually out doing some disc golfing this morning, so I felt like I needed to wash up a little bit before we did today's shave. So I used the cube for washing up. And then pre-shave, I actually use some of the Star Jelly, which I actually like better as a pre-shave. So for me, I don't need the lather booster. I don't need the slickness of a pre-shave. I just need a little bit of moisturizing of my skin. So I normally use oils, but this Star Jelly actually works pretty well too. I've been using that quite a bit lately, and this works great for me. So I lathered up using my favorite ceramic bowl here and my Heritage Collection Service replica brush. Really fun brush. It's got a 26 millimeter cashmere fan knot in it. And I think think we ended up with a lather that Shannon and Brian from Shannon's Soap would be proud of here. It's really, really nicely hydrated, nice sheen. And the smell, it smells just like it does off the tub. It's probably about medium scent strength, I would say. It's not overly strong, but it's definitely there, and it's just as good as I thought it was off the tub. I really like this scent. So I know Shannon said she was going to go pretty heavy on the oak moss, which I really enjoy. I know there was actually just a poll on Instagram today. Heritage Hill is going to be making a soap for the Take Care Men podcast. They were asking for recommendations on scents that people found kind of soothing. And for me, I think oak moss is one of them. I've always enjoyed it. I had a pure oak moss soap from Mama Bear's once that I enjoyed. So for me, this is one of my kind of soothing scents. So I enjoy this. This fan knot on this service brush, I really like this for head shaving. Like I said, it's a 26 millimeter, so it's a pretty big knot. But these fan knots just splay so easily, especially these cashmeres, that they give you a lot of good coverage when you're shaving your head. And this being a HeadShaver's ball soap, I thought it fitting to use one of my favorite head shaving brushes. So this soap is taking quite a bit of water. I usually end up with quite a bit of soap still in the brush that could use a little bit more hydration even when I bowl lather. So I kind of do a hybrid where I finish off my lather on my dome here. But I don't know if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can pick up the sheen in the camera, but it's nice and silky and slick. It's a really good soap. The Chupacabra base, it's fairly soft, which means you do kind of need a little bit more soap, but you get excellent lather out of it. I've got 3 different soaps in her Chupacabra base now, and they're all fantastic. So for razor today, I'm going to be using my Merkur Future. This is the original Future razor in the matte chrome finish. I use it on setting 6, so I know a lot of people can't. I actually like using a light touch with a single pass, so 6 works great for me. And it's got my favorite Permasharp Super Blade in there. Yeah, so like I said, this soap is special from the HeadShaver's Ball Facebook group. And I only use Facebook for the groups in general, but pretty much just shaving groups. I don't really use my personal feed at all. I just go straight to the group pages. And this is one of my favorite groups on Facebook. I actually found Double Edge Razors through a small subforum on a dedicated head shaving forum. So I like the head shaving forums, especially because I don't shave a whole lot of my face anymore. And I'm actually, they nominated me as a group expert on HeadShaver's Ball. I've been doing it for 10 years, so I've been doing it for a while, but I don't know that I'd consider myself an expert per se. But it's a great group. Most of the head shaving groups I found on Facebook, unfortunately, a lot of them are guys wanting to post pictures of themselves without shirts on, which if you're into that sort of thing, awesome. I'm not. I go to a head shaving group to discuss head shaving topics. And that's what HeadShaver's Ball is really about. So they talk about good soaps, they talk about electric razors, cartridge razors. There's a ton of leaf users. Some of us who primarily use DEs and single edge razors. So they run the gamut. They're not exclusively double edge razor users. Talk about soaps and different aftershaves that are particularly good for the scalp. And it's also a great group for those of you who might be thinking about shaving your heads. You know, maybe your hairline's receding a little bit more than you'd like, and you're finally starting to think about whether or not you should start shaving it. If you're looking for kind of advice or support on your decision, it's a great group for that. Lots of supportive guys that'll let you know how pretty much all of us who are head shavers in that group started doing it because we were losing our hair. And I would say very, very few, tiny percentage, actually regret the decision to start shaving our heads. Most of us feel like we look better, we feel better. My kids actually look at pictures of me with hair and think I look weird. So I do not regret the decision to start shaving my head, but I might have caught myself a little bit there. But the Head Shavers Ball group on Facebook is a good group of guys that are really supportive for those sorts of discussions as well. Soap's working great. Like I said, still smells fantastic. So yeah, shout out to Taylor and Wesley and Dave. So Wesley has a YouTube channel. It's not active, but it does have tons of old videos on it. Wesley Allen, who I think created Head Shavers Ball, if I'm not mistaken. But Taylor Alejandro and Dave Carter are a couple of the other admins. So those of you that are around YouTube a lot probably know Dave Carter a little bit better as Upfo a Shave Dave. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, you really should. Dave is just a really positive, upbeat guy. Lots of good energy, lots of good positive motivation. It's hard to watch one of Dave's videos and not smile and feel a little bit better after you're done watching them. Actually, I got a little hair there, so this brush has lost a handful of fibers, which is not too unusual with synthetics the first few times you use them. I think I've only used this 2 or 3 times. So yeah, it's a great Facebook group. So if you guys are members of Head Shavers Ball, or you guys know any of these guys, give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know you guys are members as well. I know a lot of you guys on the forum, but not all of your names are the same between YouTube and Facebook. So it's always nice to kind of put 2 and 2 together with people I've interacted with on the groups versus on YouTube comments. So for those of you who watched my last couple of videos, I did want to touch on, I made a video a few weeks ago on buy now, pay later type things. And I expected to get a little bit of pushback, and I did. But overwhelmingly, most people reacted positively about that message. But even those who disagree with me, I still kind of accomplished what I wanted to with that video. I was looking to get you guys to think about it a little bit more. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll throw a link up here if you want to watch it. But basically, I was just touching on my thoughts on Afterpay because it's becoming so popular with shaving vendors. In addition to its popularity across the rest of the internet. But basically, I just wanted to point out that it's not risk-free. You know, they have to make money somehow, and they generally do that by getting people to miss payments. So keep that in mind if you decide to use it. But also that I still believe it's better to avoid them, because I have firsthand experience of years of not using money wisely. And one thing I have learned the hard way is that when it comes to finances, it's far more behavioral than it is math. We can all do the math, and yet we all seem to make mistakes. And that's because of the behavior side of it. So by and large, the pushback I got from people about things like Afterpay, even people who claim they use it wisely, was that it makes it a little less painful to spread out the payments. But my argument is still that that's kind of the point. When you're spending money, there should be a little bit of pain involved, because that pain is what gets you to stop and think about it and not just automatically and blindly spend. That pain is what causes you to weigh the pros and cons of your decision. So that's why I don't like it as much, is I think there should be a little bit of pain involved, particularly when you're talking about laying down a few $100s on a high-end razor or a custom shaving brush. So if you disagree with me, that's okay. We're all adults. We all get to make our own decisions. You get to make yours. I just hope that you'll think about it a little bit more than you would, and don't just automatically make purchases because it's easier to spread the payments out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do my face shave off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and do the aftershave splash, and we'll see if there's any difference in the scent profile on the aftershave versus the soap. Stick around. All right, so finished up the shave. Nice and smooth, really close. That was a really fantastic shave, actually. I think the more that I use Shannon's Chupacabra base, the more I appreciate the post-shave feel. I do think it's probably one of my best post-shave feel soaps. Leaves my skin feeling nice and soft. I shower after I shave, so for me, post-shave feel is a little bit different than for a lot of people. But for me, I still feel nice and soft. So let's finish up with this aftershave splash. So this is alcohol-free. This will be the first time I've ever tried one of Shannon's aftershaves. Like I said, I've tried a couple of the soaps, but never the aftershave splash. So looking forward to this. So it does smell a little bit different off the bottle than the soap did. Let's see once we get it onto the skin. So I think more of that bitter orange. Maybe some of the pink, the black pepper might be coming through on the aftershave splash. Still really nice. It pairs great, but I will say I do think some of the other scent notes kind of come out more in the splash. So I would say it's not perfectly matched to the soap, but it is really close. I think it's just a few of the other notes come out stronger in the splash. So that was a really awesome shave. So Shannon soap at the Barber, made for the HeadShaver's Ball Facebook group. So thank you to Shannon and to Taylor and Wesley and Dave and everybody who had something to do with putting this set together. I really, really like this scent. This is a great set. So thank you guys, and see you in the next shave.